I'm Turk Strongman at the Ranky Ramatraka. Thank you for selecting this video on medical marijuana and your personal evolvement. What do you get from the weed when you smoke it? What do you get? What do you ingest? What comes with it? Before I continue, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Also, activate the notification bell feature if you haven't done so already. Share the joy of the channels even if you have done it already. And it's easy to share the joy of the channel with others. All you have to do, for starters, is give this video a thumb up so that others can see that, you see. Comment courteously below. Now, here we go. What do you get? All right, I'll be more specific. Do you get more creativity? Are you better at being creative? Or do you go into a creative mode of being for a while when you're stoned? Are you more creative? You might be. Yes, you might be. Cannabis is a rather well-known and fairly decent creativity enhancer. But where does the creativity come from? What are you getting? Is it in the plant? Does it come in with it? Is there something about the plant itself that's involved in creativity? I'm not saying is the plant creative, but I'm saying is this plant-based? Is this a plant-based effect? Or a you effect? Was the creativity always just there within you? And the weed, the THC, the cannabis, brings it out? Or is there a combination? Or is there some other option? That's the case. Okay, well, what else might be coming with it when you inhale it? What else might there be? Okay, well, it affects consciousness. It's mind-altering. It affects your consciousness, all right? So, I mean, there must be something consciousness about this, all of this. It's operating at that level, and it's actually doing it. There's no mistake about that. It changes consciousness. So this means that there's probably, doesn't it mean that there's some consciousness that's a bit different than yours at the moment, your static consciousness, okay? It causes a change, like it brings in another consciousness state, mixes it in with yours. How's that sound? I mean, I'm operating here under the general fact that all the universe is alive. Consciousness pervades everything. I mean, okay, at a foundry, we might make steel. Or something like that, right? Does that mean the steel bar is alive and conscious and aware? Well, at least at the atomic level, that's true for everything, right there. But natural things that nature has put together, yeah, there's consciousness throughout. If we rearrange its parts, its physical parts, then the result, we might not say, is a conscious thing, but its parts are. Okay, what about a plant? Plants are conscious. I don't have to prove that here. I'm not going to try. Look it up. You should know that by now. Right? there is some level of consciousness there. It's plant level consciousness. Well, might one plant affect your consciousness differently than another plant? I say yes. I used to have a garden that I grew with my own hands. I weeded an entire plot with a straight edge knife. That was it. Oh, and a machete. And I planted the garden. With just those tools. That's all I had. And I grew the garden. And every day I would only eat from the garden. And I would eat in the garden. I would eat while crawling around on my hands and knees. No hands if I could. If I could take a bite out of something, I would do it. I studied up on the plants, their effects, whether medicinal, nutritive, mental, if such information existed on vegetables and herbs. And I didn't grow marijuana. I was growing things to eat. And I found that I was quite in tune with my plants. And I ate nothing but them. And I would eat sometimes all day only one kind. And lots of it. And I felt something, a consciousness thing. And I felt different physical things from each. I would be in like rutabaga's mind all day maybe. Or just peppermint mind all day. Or just onion mind all day. And then I built up different combinations. And I noticed the differences among them all because I was very sensitive to that. I had made it that way. They were all different from one another. Very subtle. To my awareness capacities at the time. Very subtle, but definite. Marijuana. It's alive. It has its own classification of plant mind. It's cannabis plant mind. And the effect is a consciousness one. It works on the consciousness level. So I would say this is a rather conscious plant. And the overall mind category of cannabis mind pervades it, pervades the whole species. Genus and species and subspecies. And each plant has its own share of that, although plant mind does not have individual mind like humans do. A lot of animals don't either. They have a group soul mind or a group mind. Cockroaches, bees, ants. Well, plants, we know less about that, but we know enough. So what are you getting when you smoke it? Are you getting a bit of its essence? A bit of its mind? Yes, you are. Why wouldn't you? The smoke is coming in and affecting your brain and your cells. Making enough change that, as I said in the prior video, you may become physically addicted if you're not careful. That's significant change being made. Well, what do you get? What is this more creative thing that happens? Becoming a bit more creative. Being able to more freely express yourself creatively. Come up with new stuff. You know, you can sit down and play your guitar better. Or at least you think. You feel more creative. You experience greater creativity. And there may be results of it. You might get into a ritual of every time you're going to play your guitar, practice your guitar, you smoke some weed. Because why? Well, there are various reasons, including addiction, behavioral addiction, psychological addiction, perhaps physical addiction that gets triggered by picking up your guitar. Who knows? All right? But these things are there. And our point is, if you're going to get the best out of marijuana that you can toward your personal involvement, etc., then employ the general fact that all the universe is alive. Bring it to bear. Recognize it. Realize it within yourself. Accept it as a true thing within yourself. That's realizing it. And then manifest it. Put it to work. Take advantage of that. Notice what you're getting from the plant. And recognize that it might just be the case that there's something plant-based about the heightened creativity, as well as a lot you-based anyway. It's already there. Somehow, marijuana mind and consciousness is causing this effect in you, regardless of where the creativity is in the first place. It has to be within you, though, for this to happen. It has to be there. But there's something about the life force in marijuana itself that's specific to and unique to marijuana that you're getting. Well, I'm suggesting that you become aware of that. That you become conscious of it. Learn more about marijuana. Don't be afraid of it if you're medically prescribed it. Learn more about it. Take interest in it. Look at photos of it. Examine it when you get your medical marijuana. Look at it with a magnifying glass. Look at how beautiful it all is. Respect it. Take it as a living thing. And that the smoke is a living thing. And that whatever comes with it is alive. And it's entering your life. It's entering your brain. It's entering your emotional life, your energy life, your subtle energy. It's blending in with all of it because it too has those levels. And they have to do with consciousness. Okay? I think that's all just pretty well, logically derived, everything I've said here. So, bear this stuff in mind. Take advantage of it. Intend for this to happen this way. Experience it happening this way. Visualize it happening this way. Tell it to happen that way. You can talk to it. Don't worry about it. Don't be afraid of it. Experience it and put it to use. And by the way, if you do this, you're already becoming more and more open and sensitive to the vibrations of things around you. There's a development right there. There are lots of them going on with just that. But the results of that? Endless. Endless. Endless is a whole new way to look at it, perhaps, for you. Well, embrace it. That's part of how to get the best out of your medical marijuana toward your own self-betterment, personal involvement, etc. I'm Turk Storman. This is the Rocky Ramacharaka. Thumb up. Subscribe. Get notified. Comment courteously below here. And share with everybody you know this video or this channel. Right? See you in the next one. Thanks for watching this one. Be well.